Zenless Zone Zero 2.6 is here, and AOD is debuting soon on February 6. I cannot wait for our little idols to get released because it seems like this patch is gonna be a jam-packed with exciting events and interesting stories. Also, from the rumors, we might get an estimated 180 plus pulls in version 2.6 without spending anything. That's a guaranteed limited character from the banner, and I am here to give you guys an information and opinion about the characters that are in the banner for version 2.6. So you don't have to waste your 180 pulls by mistake. We have two limited AOD members, Sunna and Aria, and we have two rerun characters, Yuzuha and Yixuan. As you guys can see, this is quite a lineup, and you're probably itching to know who to pull based on your account, and I am here to help you with that. We're gonna do the usual format, rerun first, and then we're gonna talk about the new characters. Disclaimer, I'm not gonna talk much about the new characters kit in details, especially the numbers and stuff, mainly because we don't have much to go around, and I wanna make a separate video talking about these characters kits and builds. The first rerun is Yuzuha, the undeniable savior of Anomaly. I always joke around that Yuzuha is gonna be the biggest support in Anomaly and no one can defeat her, but I can't believe that I'm actually right. Why? Because she saved Anomaly from the hellish Season 2 meta consisting of Anomaly Resistance and Miasmic Phases. These are the kryptonite of Anomaly, and Yuzuha is there to save the day. I mean, kinda. Because she makes sure to brute force our way to Season 2 with her diabolical buff, Sweet Scare. This is a buff that increases her entire squad's attack by 1200 and damage on that enemy while activating a quick assist, allowing you to instantly switch to DPS on the field. The effect lasts 40 seconds and this duration is refreshed when applied multiple times. So it's basically permanent, which is crazy. This buff might look generic at first, but that's not where her anomaly supported capabilities came from. It's from her additional ability. When Yuzuha's squads contain a anomaly or spook shock agent, it will enhance anomaly build-up rate by 0.2%, as well as all anomaly and disorder damage per point of anomaly mastery over 100, up to 20% for both effects, and this effect maxes at 200. As you guys can see, she's already the best support, especially for people that invested in Anomaly. One thing that is unique and free-to-play friendly about her compared to any other support in the game right now is that she can still be used in non-Anomaly team because of her attack buff that is comparable to Asrayao's attack buff. Yes, it's not an upgrade, but it's still helpful if you're missing support and you can't afford to use Yuzuha on non-Anomaly team. She's gonna be more free-to-play friendly when you realize that she doesn't require her W engine at all. You can just use your free-to-play option like Kaboom the Cannon and you're not gonna miss any benefits from Yuzuha. She doesn't really have any flaws, and I would 100% recommend pulling for her. If you have an extra pulls to spend, she will make your Anomaly DPS a lot stronger and proc all of those satisfying Anomaly and disorders. Now, let's talk about the second rerun, Yixuan, our first Rapture DPS in Zenless Zone Zero and someone who sets the damage ceiling for Season 2 meta. Her belonging to Rapture class who specialize in breaking enemy defenses to deal massive sheer force damage, she's basically the paper for the rock like Miasmic Phases. She can easily shred the Miasmic Phase without trouble because she's the only character for now who has two ultimate. And no, Evelyn doesn't have two ultimates, it's just that Evelyn have two different ultimate animation. One of her ultimate connecting to her technique resource and one with the traditional Decibel ultimate. Her whole kit revolves around managing her resource Adrenaline that replaces the traditional energy bar for agents. Using this, you can utilize all of her kits that are able to deal sheer damage, easily block enemies' attack, and acquire her second ultimate. She's very simple to learn and probably one of the easiest and beginner-friendly DPS to use. But don't let that fact fool you. Even though she's simple, she still has a lot of depth when it comes to her kit. And explaining all of it will take me ages to do, so I'm gonna let the guide makers do the job for me cause it's a lot. I guess for now, I'm gonna explain the most important thing about her, Sheer Force. Sheer Force is the reason why Yixuan can ignore defense without relying on defense shred and pen. To deal Sheer Force damage, you need to increase her Sheer Force by giving her attack and HP. Reminder that HP is your focus to build her instead of attack since Yixuan is an HP scaling DPS and you also need crit stats, so don't forget about that. Yixuan is 100% one of the powerhouse DPS in Zenless Zone Zero and she lives up to her title of being the strongest in the current current meta. But even with these pros, we still need to talk about her cons. There's two big flaws that you might encounter when you pull for her. First, Yixuan is too dependent on enemy attacking her to generate adrenaline, and also too dependent on specific teammates. She does have some flexibility with her team comps, but it's not that good. Second flaw is that Season 2 meta might change soon, since we are shifting to Season 3 meta, and it's probably gonna affect how Rapture operates in the future, just like how Anomaly lost its value when Miasma dominated the meta. Yes, this last flaw is just speculation, but there is a 90% chance of it happening since this is a gacha game. Yixuan is an extremely strong agent, but I think because of these flaws, I would have to lower her pulling value. But if you don't have a Rapture agent and you're a new player, I think Yixuan is a good pick compared to other Rapture agents that we have in the game right now. Now it's time to talk about our limited characters, the AOD members. First, my bias Sunna, the cutest in the group in my opinion. Sunna is a physical support just like Yuzuha, and it seems like she's gonna be an attack and anomaly support, but don't let that fact fool you. I'm gonna explain why in a minute. Sunna gives attack buff for the team and provides Ether Veil. When attack and anomaly characters in the squad continuously lands attack on the enemy affected by Cat Gaze, Cat's Gaze is triggered and removed. Cat Gaze will deal a lot of damage depending on the damage dealt by the triggering agent, and it kinda acts like an anomaly proc. So she's like a self DPS support and deals damage off field. When another agent in your squad is an attack character or AOD members, when the characters inside Ether Veil lands an attack on enemies, the target's stun damage multiplier increases. All of these are massive buff for her team, but there is a problem with her flexibility as a support. Sunna is not considered as a general support. She is very niche, and there's only 2 DPS right now that can utilize her full potential, Yixuan and Aria. Sunna is gonna be a good support for Yixuan, replacing one of her slots in her team. The Ether Veil will help to generate resources for Yixuan, and the attack buff and damage multiplier will help a ton. For anomaly characters, you cannot use Sunna's full potential unless you have Aria on the team, which is different from how anomaly agents usually work because she dominates as a stun window anomaly. Also, the fact that anomaly DPS cannot activate Sunna's additional ability because it's not included as an activation, which makes her a very niche support and also defeats the purpose of her being a anomaly support. Sunna as an anomaly support is a net negative, and you would rather use Yuzuha to be an exclusive anomaly buffer. But if you still wanted to play her with other anomaly DPS, you need to use a double support team comp that includes Yuzuha on the team. So, is she still a good support? Yes, 100%. She's an upgrade substitute for one of the slots in Yixuan team comp, and she will definitely dominate the full AOD team comp. So if you have Yixuan and planning to get Aria, Sunna is a great agent to have. What's surprising about her kit is that she actually deals a ton of damage, and she might act like an off-field sub DPS even for other attack agents, which is crazy. Now lastly, let's talk about the cutest intelligent construct in New Eredo, Aria. Aria is an Ether Anomaly DPS that doesn't act like a traditional anomaly agent. She focuses a lot more on stun multiplier and stun windows, so she will act like a traditional attack characters instead. Aria can use charge heavy attacks to hit enemies with attribute anomaly to deal massive bursts of damage. Just like Miyabi, she has 3-stage basic attack while holding it, dealing more damage if you reach the 3rd stage. A fully charged attack can trigger a bloom when hitting an enemy with an attribute anomaly. If enemies are stunned, the damage will increase, and she will have faster activation for her 3rd stage. If you have her resource, Phantom Power, then she will Goomba jump a lot of times. It's very funny. Her EX and additional ability will help a ton to produce Phantom Power resources. That's it, literally. We don't have much info about how strong Aria really is, but she's a very unique and easy to explain DPS in Zenless Zone Zero. She's basically if Vivian becomes a DPS to deal a bloom damage, and she has Miyabi's charge attacks, and she's also busted in stun windows. As you guys can see, it's easy to explain, and she might be a strong DPS. Partnering her with Sunna would be an insane lineup, and there's even a big chance that Hyun Yuu is a stunner that buffs stun multiplier just based on Sunna and Aria's kit. Like I said, we don't know any official data yet on how strong she really is, so we can just wait for it, but I feel like she's gonna be an Ali situation where people don't really care about her kit because of how simple it is, but she might be an OP anomaly character. The only flaw that I can imagine from her is that she's gonna have a lot of problems with team compositions because she's highly dependent on her AOD members. If that's not the case, then partnering her with Yuzuha and Trigger might be a good slot replacement for one of the AOD members. characters. But I'll leave it at that for now because that's just speculation. That's all the agents in Zenless Zone Zero 2.6 banner. To give 80 LDR of my opinion and pull value for all 4 characters, Yuzuha would definitely be the most must pull on all 4, mainly because she's gonna give a lot more value in your anomaly roster and she can be flexible support if you're using her outside of her normal team comps. Sunna is actually next to Yuzuha in terms of pull value, mainly because she has a big potential to be a strong sub DPS with powerful buff for her niche team comps. I think niche supports will soon have a lot of demands just like how Lighter is in Season 1, and she might get a lot more DPS in the future since it feels like they are forcing the Ether Veil mechanic a lot more. The next one is Yixuan. The reason why she is second to last is mainly because of meta probably changing in few months. If my guess is right, she probably has 3 to 4 months left until Zenless Zone Zero devs are slowing down with the miasmic bosses. I'm not saying this to say that she's gonna be weak on the next meta. I'm saying this to be safe because Zenless Zone Zero or gacha in general have a lot of pattern to change meta each season, meaning that the shielding will shift on future characters or even old meta. Based on that, Yixuan's value is very unpredictable right now. Now lastly, Aria. The only reason why she's dead last is because we don't really know how strong she really is. Like I said earlier, her kit might be strong but we still don't have any official information and data to show that she can compete with the DPS in the current version. It's always hard to gauge the value of DPS mainly because they really rely a lot on numbers and flexibility as a DPS. And I don't know if she's gonna be a Hugo situation where Aria is gonna be the only anomaly DPS that can use her unique playstyle of focusing in stun windows. We know what happened to double stunner meta and it didn't last long at all. That's it for the pool value opinion. I might have some strong opinion on the DPS but I do hope you all understand why I said all of it. I'm here to give you guys the best and probably the safest choice to make when pulling for an agent. But don't let this video sway your opinion about the characters. If you like an agent, pull for them. My philosophy in gacha games is always fun first, meta second. But smart investing is also needed when you need a platform for you to have fun. Thank you guys for watching this video and see you guys in Zenless Zone Zero 2.6.